Hi, my name is Rebecca, and I am doing a book review on a couple different Wiccan books. Sorry the lighting is so horrible, but it's dark here, and I live in a sunroom, so it's crappy. Um, anyway, first book I want to talk about is Wicca, Living Wicca, and they're by Scott Cunningham. I would recommend these books for anybody new to the path. The reason I would recommend these as first readings, mainly, is because they give you a general overview without trying to direct your path, without telling you this is the path you should be on. They help you to explore yourself, but at the same time you still get some suggestions for rituals, altar layouts, and prayers. In Wicca, the first book, you get an overview of some different incense and oil recipes. You also get, you also get some explanations on Wicca and shamanism, on different deities and how to choose who you work with, tools, the days of power, the the Sabbaths, and you get exercises to work with. And in the back you also get a list of references. The book I'm holding is actually a 3-volume book that came from One Spirit. I bought this, I don't even know how many years ago, probably 8 or 9. But I originally read Wicca when I was 17, and it was one thing that helped fuel my decision to self-initiate myself as a witch. The second book I'm talking about here, Living Wicca by Scott Cunningham, is a continuation of Wicca, but it's more about the practices. You get tools for learning, secrecy, maybe why you would want to keep your religious choice secret, should you work while you're sick, magical names, self-initiation. You get effective prayers, which I really like. I've actually committed several of them to memory. You also get rites of thanks, simple rituals for like the full moon and new moon. You get symbols, a brief lesson on ruins. It's just a really good book. They're short books, but they kind of break everything down without a lot of clutter I've seen in some of the other books. Second book I'm talking about, or I should say third book, is The Wicca Handbook by Eileen Holland. There is some controversy about this book. I have read review after review after review where people dismiss this book, and it all seems they quote the same part, and it's in her Law and Justice section. She talks about a spell she did to find justice for her brother's girlfriend who was beaten to death by him. He was an abusive person and someone their family had disowned, had no association with, and he kept getting into trouble. She did a justice spell. She didn't directly ask, for any sort of repercussion from him, but basically just asked the universe. He has done more wrong than, any one person should. If it is your will, bring justice. The reason this seems to get so many harsh criticisms is because people feel that's interfering on her path. To them, I say this: put yourself in her shoes. Your brother has just beaten his girlfriend to death. Your brother is, basically a piece of shit. He's a poor excuse for manhood and humanity. Even you're in her shoes, would you not be tempted to do the spell? Constantly we're told don't judge other people. That's one thing I think a lot of Wiccans pride themselves on, is not judging someone. But, when we hear that someone may have done magic or spells or rituals that, may not be in accordance with the Wiccan Rede, you know, we all kind of tend to jump on them and then discredit anything and everything they have to say. And that's not fair. This is an excellent book. It gives you, it breaks down, this really isn't a book for like Sabbats or, you know, full moon rituals. This is a book of correspondence, deities, herbs, stones, so much information for so many different purposes. Besides justice, there's fertility, there's protection. She gives instruction on spells and puppet use, how to cast your magic circle, working with the elements. You know, she gives a brief section on colors. There's just so much information crammed into this book. To me, it is an invaluable resource, and I would recommend reading it. You know, if you can withhold judgment, you know, definitely check it out. It's now in like a new reprinting I've seen recently on Amazon. This is an old version from 2001, but the Wicca Handbook by Eileen Holland, worth checking out. If you have someone who does not understand what Wicca is, you may want to get them Simply Wicca by Michelle Morgan. This book does not contain necessarily a lot of rituals, but what it does contain is a lot of basic explanations about what Wicca is, why we choose Wicca, what may call us to Wicca. It does give, you know, some brief explanations, like there's some common goddesses like Aphrodite, Aradia, Athena, Bastet, Bridget, and she does give a brief overview of the holidays like Midsummer, you know, Samhain, and so on and so forth. But for someone who does not understand what Wicca is and may look at it fearfully because they've been fed misinformation, this is a good book to pick up and have them read. The last book I'm going to talk about is Spiral Dance by Starhawk. This is a classic. I mean, like, every pagan should just read this book. Read it. It's wonderful. I love Starhawk and I love this book. This book has been used and abused, highlighted, pages folded. I've read it twice. There's invaluable information in here. I may do a separate video on this book. That's how much I love it. It's worth checking out. So, that is my video. I'm sorry for the poor quality, but my webcam on my laptop is not the greatest. I may try to do future videos. So look out for those. Thank you. Have a great day.